Hello, my name is Rachel Smith. I'm 36 years old. I live in southeast Oklahoma with my husband Bradley and my son Cannon, who is 7, and my daughter Carson, who is 4. My little one is about to start pre-K, so my life is about to change greatly because both of my kids will be out of the house. I'm a lifelong student. I've earned a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, master's certifications, and other higher level certifications in teaching. I'm here now because I work for a local college, Carl Albert State College, and I teach composition, so I teach reading and writing. And the Higher Learning Commission has required us to get more hours in our field so that we can do better at our jobs. But it's something that I love. I've always wanted to pursue a master's degree in English, and I would like to get a doctorate in English as well. Hopefully I can have, I don't know, maybe another 5 or 10 years when my children are a little older, because it's quite a juggling act right now. So we were assigned to read Strategies for Finding Your Life's Tasks. This I really enjoyed. I enjoyed reading simply because sometimes the things can feel, they're so simple, but it can feel so difficult. These are the battles that we face when finding ourselves and who we are. And having it laid out in such a way, in like a 5-step easy way, is always it's a nice reminder that sometimes it's more simple than you think. The first one I want to expand on is number 1, return to your origins, the primal inclination strategy. It says here, in order to master a field, you must love the subject and feel profound connection to it. Your interest must transcend the field itself and border on religious. I feel this way about reading and writing because it's something that I've always loved. Just from the time I was a child, it's been my favorite thing to do. I can remember being 4 or 5 years old and writing little poems and songs and always wanting to read, and it's something I do for fun now, and I've always done for fun, and I have a great love for it. And that's how I chose English for a bachelor's degree, is because I remember thinking, well, if nothing else, it's something that I love doing, so at least I won't hate the whole time I'm there. The reason that I feel like I have returned to my origins in teaching and higher education is that I feel like I make a difference. I really do. I know that sounds like such a cliche, but I can remember after 9/11 and having a moment thinking, am I doing something that really makes a difference in the world? If it all just, went to pot tomorrow, is it something that I feel like that I spent my time wisely, that I invested? And I think that, again, another cliche, I think that education is the solution to many, many of our problems. And so I like being a part of that. I feel like that's something that I can take pride in. I enjoy things like critical analysis and teaching social responsibility in my courses. I like that I can teach my students to have an understanding of what life is like for people of other races, class systems, genders, experiences of different time frames. Literature just transcends through everything. We're all connected, and we're all connected in these beautiful pieces of paper that have everything in them. They have humanities and science and history and psychology and love and every other beautiful thing in the world and every other messy thing. It's all in there, and it's ours for the reading, and I just I enjoy it. And I can see there is a satisfying feeling and understanding that you have returned to your origins when you're doing something well. And I've been raised to appreciate education and recognize what it does for me and the power that it gives me. That goes into number 2, occupying the perfect niche, the Darwinian strategy. Is it a crazy ecology, I think is what they called it, and it is. You just have to find a place where you do things well. I worked as a janitor for many years in undergrad. I can clean a toilet and mop a floor very, very well. But, and there's pride in that. There's pride in doing anything well. And my parents always taught us to do whatever you do it well. If you're going to take the time to do something, do it well. And once you find your niche, then doing that job well is so much more rewarding, because you feel a sense of growth, not just a job well done, but the sense of growth. Okay, moving on to number 3, avoiding the false path, the rebellion strategy. I think that the relation that I can understand here is I didn't know what I was doing when I first graduated college, so I was very lost, and trying to think about things like earning money and doing different things like that felt like the right thing to do, but it wasn't necessarily. And I worked for charter schools, and that's why I would relate the avoiding the false path, is that charter schools many of them have a lot to do with is getting as many students as you can and getting your test scores, but they have nothing to do with the connection between you and your students. And I think breaking away from that and avoiding that false path was very beneficial to my life. And then number 4, letting go of the past, the adaptation strategy. For me, that was moving away from the public school system. I could teach there, but I didn't feel like I could teach in a way that was true to myself and how I wanted to. Once I stepped into higher education, I knew the moment I was there that that was the place I had to be, and I could connect with people on a level that I wanted to. And it's exciting because I'm with people who are future voters and people who are not just future, but in the immediate future. And that makes a big difference, is being able to just have them examine their lives, and it's very powerful. And number 5, finding your way back, the life or death strategy. I feel like my love of writing is inside of this. This is the part where I feel like someday I'll get to come back to the writing, and which is why I want to pursue a doctorate. And I hope that the writing is something that will come back to me. And what I really liked is the idea that you can't have everything in the present. You have to be able to time these things out and have a good understanding of that, and setting goals and reaching your goals. And I think the older I get, the more I have an understanding of that, and the more powerful that is, and the more it means to me. Okay, the other one I would expand on would be going back to number 1, returning to your origins. In light of recent elections and the status of our country, it's something that means a lot to me. I teach in a place that's very conservative and very religious and very close-minded. And I'm not saying that's everyone, but sometimes when you get deep in the South, that's the way things go. And so it's a very it's something, the person I am is somebody who wants to empathize and try to have an open mind. And that is who I am at the core. That's who I've been since I was born. And so if I can relate that to someone in a way, that's the most powerful way I can return to my origin. So I'm not trying to mold little minds like mine, but I expect it when they give me a hard time about being a feminist from the North trying to corrupt them. But it's all for love, I promise. I don't want to change them, I just want them to think. Okay? My dream career path is being a writer. I want to be able to teach. I want to be able to teach at a university, maybe a lighter load, and be able to write. I want to write creative nonfiction about my Southern experiences. Okay, thank you. Bye.